continuing video. Today we're going to take a look at some test battles for the Ultra League version of the Holiday Cup here, which is going to be an interesting one. We're going to have a double dragon team with an Obstagoon in the lead. This is a little bit risky. If you face one alone 9-tails, you're basically done for, but the thing is, for this cup, Chalmers, there's not really a lot of available. It's basically only alone 9-tails. You can, of course, use an XL Weekly Tough or an XL version of the Umbreon, but I guess most people don't have those, and it's really only useful for this cup only, so I don't think people will really want to build those anyway, so you should be fine here. This team worked out pretty well. Nobody of my opponents had a Charm user in their team, which is kind of interesting. One at least did use a Pokemon that was not eligible for the cup. Make sure that the teams you're playing out definitely have also the types correctly there. They used a Blaziken, which is not allowed here. Even though a lot of fire types are around, they're always around just because of their secondary typing, like Talonflame and Charizard for the flying typing. Or for the Great League version of it, we had the Marowak, which was there because of the ghost typing. So not every fire type is allowed, as far as I know at least. There are only two stab users for counter, which is kind of awkward for this meta, which makes something like Aurorus or Kyurem pretty strong, while we catch a Media Beam here. Very important. Very amazing Media Beam onto our Giratina there with 1 HP left, and we can go ahead and go for 2 Dragon Claws against the opponent here with our Kyurem. This won't be the only Kyurem showcase today on my channel. They're going to be one later on for the Master League. That's why I'm also going to do this video here right now about the Ultra League version of this cup, because I'm going to upload a video immediately for this. I will make a Master League video later on. I still don't know the team around the Kyurem that I'm going to use there, but yeah. I don't have yet at least a team, a video for the best teams for the Master League. I might do one. Let me know in the comment section if you're interested in this. I'm not sure about it because the poll before was I think 30% I want to run the Master League right now and 70% the Ultra League version. So I still might do it just because we have 2 weeks, I think actually 3 weeks of Master League now coming up. But in 1 week you can still use either the Ultra League or the Great League. So I think maybe I'm still going to do one day or something, tomorrow or something, for the Master League if you're interested in it. But yeah, we're going to take a look here as well. This opponent, we will be able to farm on the Charizard, which is kind of nice. We will see an Aurorus coming in, which we can counter with our Ancient Power. But I'm pretty sure they're going to have the restricted Pokemon in the back that you are not allowed to use. We see here the Aurorus going for 1 Media Beam most likely. Exactly, and we see a Blaziken in the back. We most likely would have won this battle against whatever they had in the back, unless it's a 9-tails. Blaziken is not allowed in this meta. They just didn't know about this. It's going to wreck us now, but you will not face a Blaziken at all in this meta, so it doesn't really matter how your team is against a Blaziken because it's not allowed. You cannot use it. Neither fighting or fire is one of the allowed types, but yeah. Just happens. Was a mistake by the opponent, happens. Here we see an Obstagoon lead. What I usually do against an Obstagoon lead is I'm going to swap out onto the charge move here, trying to catch it, which works out pretty well in this occasion, as we will be able to catch the cross chop from the opponent. Opponent's Giratina coming in here, we will go ahead and no shield this. It's going to be the Shadow Claw version of the Giratina, which I really wouldn't recommend you. I think Dragon Breath is just better in every way. Makes it also way more difficult to counter this Pokemon unless you run the alone 9-tails, which is going to be very strong in this meta. And yeah, you basically... Here I do make a mistake, I think, because I am going ahead and basically throwing my charge move a little bit too late here, which is fine. But they're actually going to shield up, so my mistake doesn't matter at all because I'm still going to be able to realign my Pokemon here. Sure, throw my Dragon Claw a little bit before their Dragon Claw, but it's still fine because we can realign. We have our Obstagoon now against the opponent's Obstagoon. We can go ahead and snipe them with 1 cross chop here, going to do a ton of damage as we see a Charizard coming in. I actually think maybe the non-Shadow version of Charizard might be a little bit better for this cup compared to the Shadow version from the, I don't know, the damage output that I've seen so far. It feels like that the Shadow version might be a little bit worse actually here, but here they're going to be able to survive 2 of my moves. Maybe they would have farmed me down though if they were the Shadow version already, but like this, they're going to get a more energy here, which is fine. I will take the energy on my Giratina, which is very good. It's going to be a Dragon Claw again. And I can go ahead and go into my Kyurem, farming them all the way down here. Obstagoon goes down, Charizard goes down, and this is going to be a good game. Next one, we're going to see here Tommy Love TV against us, which uses an Obstagoon in the lead as well. We will do the same as we did before. We try to catch the potential cross chop on our Giratina. My opponent tries to do exactly the same here by catching the potential cross chop on their flyer, which is going to be a Moltres, which is actually something funnier that I kind of want to take a look at as well. Like if anybody has a Moltres build already for this league, definitely send me some video footage. In general, if you didn't know, there's always a link in the description under every video where you can send in your own footage so I can showcase them on the channel. I would appreciate if I get some footage to showcase for the next 2 weeks or whatever for Master League and also for the Ultra League version of the Holiday Cup. Always appreciate this. Like always, the later time slot where I upload my video is usually like this time slot where you see this video right now is usually the time slot where I showcase other people's battles. Here right now my opponent got the boost, which is really annoying, but it does only do a little bit more damage against me, which might put me into range where they can farm me down though. So it's a little bit tricky, but I can swap into my Kyurem now, and you see already what we're going to do here. We're going to go ahead and farm them all the way down. Going to let the first move go through. If it's a Dragon Claw, I can survive it. If it's a Blast Burn, I would go down. But because they're going to go for the bait first, it's totally fine for me. I will be able to just farm them all the way down with my Kyurem, and they're going to keep basically 2 shields there. Next opponent, we see Charizard in the lead. Horrible lead for us. We're going to swap out immediately into our Giratina here. We will be able to go ahead and go for Dragon Claw here even. Like, you don't really need Ancient Power too much, because it does take more energy, but I make a mistake here by not throwing my charge move earlier. Definitely should have thrown my charge move earlier against them, because now they're going to be able to go into the Snorlax, and this at least is a combination which I expect to see a lot more as well. The Charizard in the lead and also the Snorlax as a safe swap, because Charizard in the lead going to be able to do good damage against something like Giratina, does good damage against something like the Obstagoon, and Snorlax as a safe swap will be able to also deal with the Obstagoon as well when they come in against you. And then maybe something like Aurora's in the back would make a good core in my opinion. I don't know what my opponent is running here. They're going to run an Obstagoon in the back. Also does make some kind of sense, so definitely think the team from my opponent is a very good team to use as well. We see some lag there, but like it didn't really affect us either. They are able to go ahead and go and knock me out here, which is kind of okay. We got the debuff already from them, and I can now farm them all the way down. And I'm going to go for a ballsy move here now. I will be able to go ahead and go for my charge move, which they have to shield because they're already a little bit lower than me. And I can just go ahead and no shield here. If this is a blast burn, we're going to get knocked out, but we have 2 shields left. Very likely that the opponent going to bait, so I was able to call the correct move here with the Dragon Claw, which basically allows me now to win this game. This boost for myself doesn't really matter at all, like it literally doesn't matter at all, so I still win this game by throwing my charge move, not by doing the damage I do with my counter, even though I could win this by just doing counter damage, but because I got the boost, I can now go for the BM and the cross chop, just to troll a little bit, and yeah. But yeah, getting the boost there was not really necessary, but kind of nice. Now we can see when it happens on the other part, because I still remember this battle here, that was really annoying. Horrible lead for us. But we have, of course, a pretty decent safe swap here with our Giratina. They're going to swap into their own Giratina, which is okay for us. We can go ahead and go for our Dragon Claw, which is going to be super effective. We already have more energy than they have, so I can go for 2 Dragon Claws. And what I can also do here is I can now, I think I'm going to let this move go through. I can farm them all the way down with my Obstagoon. So far, so decent, but let's see, we can just get a ton of energy here. They can go for 1 Dragon Claw. They might even get to another one, but it doesn't really matter because they don't do too much damage against me with that, as I have a pretty bulky Obstagoon here. But yeah, I'm going to be able to knock them out now. And we will see the Charizard coming in. I will be able to get some damage on them. And now I can swap out because I don't really want... Actually going to go for 2. Never mind. I can swap out now, try to snipe them here. And actually, because I knocked them out here, whatever is in the back going to get glaciated. So they're going to drop their attack, which looks good in the first glance, but not when the opponent gets a boost immediately. And I think I'm pretty much only lost because of this. If they didn't get the... like 12.5% boost chance there, I would have been able to debuff them twice here easily, still would do more damage against them, and I think I would have been fine against them as well with my own Obstagoon. But like this, I am definitely not, because I have 2 cross chops now loaded and there's not a lot that I can do about this, and I will lose this game because of the instant boost of the Obstagoon. But still, not really any team so far that was like a crazy challenge for this team here. Seems like it's a pretty solid one. We see a Giratina in the lead. They're going to swap out immediately into Dubwool. Dubwool will be a little bit of a trickier one for nearly every team, to be fair. I think it's going to be the best Pokemon in this meta. I'm most likely going to make a video about Dubwool as well, But double so far going to be a little bit tricky for most people to achieve. I tried to catch the body slam here, didn't work out, so I have to shield up the payback now from the opponent. It's also, by the way, a 100% best buddied version, I think. Or it's just, I think it's not even best buddied, I think it's just 100% version. We see the Obstagoon coming in here. We will see that the Dragon Claw is going to still do some okay-ish damage. Not the biggest amount of damage, but still going to chunk a little bit to put around like half of its health. We will be able to go ahead and now go for some more charge moves against the Giratina from the opponent as well. As I now know the entire team from the opponent, I will be able to go into my own Kyurem, trying to farm them all the way down, trying to actually farm them really all the way down here to get a Glaciate on against the opponent's Pokemon. I will always win CMP with our Kyurem anyway, and Glaciate going to be able to debuff the opponent's attack here, which is going to be amazing. Going to get the first shield from the opponent as well, most likely. And at this point of time, this game kind of is over, I think. They don't really do enough damage to me anymore that I am really too scared of them, because you see the health that my Giratina has. You're going to see how much damage this Night Slash is going to do. It's basically nothing, and I will be able to just farm them all the way down. I don't even want to throw any charge moves anymore. So this is going to be a pretty easy game here to, win this game there. Both just thrown 2 charge moves, but this was a little bit easier. Into the final one, we're going to see the worst possible lead here with the Virizion. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to swap into my Kyurem. Kyurem will be okay-ish. I didn't pay attention to the battle, by the way. I sure went straight for Glaciate here, but I was looking at some other stuff. I think I was like watching a series or something at the same time. So I didn't go for my Glaciate immediately. Doesn't matter, my opponent gives me a shield immediately, which is really kind of them because I didn't really have to do that. But what I'm going to be able to do now is I think I might have actually been able to get to another move as well. Otherwise, if I throw the Glaciate immediately. But otherwise, now I will be able to farm them all the way down, even before they go for 2 charge moves against me here. We will see again the Virizion in the back. I'm going to go for one more fast move to secure myself a charge move in the back there that I can just snipe the opponent with maybe. But we actually see an Aurorus in the back now, which seems to be like a hard counter the entire way through. But this Aurorus is not running powders now. This Aurorus is running the Rock Throw move, which allows me to take those moves way easier. I will be able to get to my charge moves way better, and they take longer to charge on their own, which allows me now to just farm them hopefully all the way down after this one. I have to shield, of course, the Weather Ball as the opponent's best move now, most likely going to be something like Stone Edge if they even have this, which is unlikely. And we will be able to go for 1 Dragon Claw now. This will get them low, and we will see the charge move coming through from the opponent, which is going to be actually the Stone Edge. So they're going to have some answer now for my Giratina, which is not ideal. I can go for 1 more charge move here, and I can now go ahead and swap into my Obstagoon, trying to go for 1 more charge move as well with the cross chop, and this will secure me the win anyway. And yeah, this team is definitely kind of cool. If you face alone Ninetales, you're basically done already, but this still worked out pretty well here in the test battles. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I see you later for the Kyurem video, and leave a like if you haven't done that already, and I see you later.